we have some vegetable pasta salad taking place in our kitchen.
Almost as fun.
Almost. I mean, I would be waiting in line in Vegas for this. Let me tell you. I love when Lucy's here. Lucy, it's good to see you.
You too.
Vegetable pasta salad. It's almost time. It's
yes, it has
year-round
been
for me,
so
though.
pretty.
Yeah,
the last couple days, even though it was cooler, it has just been so nice. I was like, oh, maybe this will kind of push the weather to keep being beautiful. Yes, all year round, you're right though, it would be good. And I was thinking for you especially, and I messaged my friend who works from home, like this would be great for lunches.
Yes.
You know, to make at the beginning of the week and to take for lunch. So. And the great thing about pasta salad, of course, you can add whatever you'd like. I just used 1 pound of, I just used rotini today, and I already have this cooked off. So I just did boiling salted water and cooked it for 8 minutes. And when you put the pasta in, especially for pasta salad, you want to be careful. You don't want it to overcook. And so I set the timer for 8 minutes, and that's just total cooking time, not like wait for it to come back to a boil. So just put it in there for 8 minutes, even if it's not boiling, it'll still be good. So I drained that and put some cold water on it, and I just tossed a little bit of oil on it so it didn't stick while we did everything else. And I thought we'd go ahead and add our veggies before we make our dressing.
Sure. What are you using today?
So I'm going to use 1 cucumber, which I just peeled that and seeded it and cut it up. And I don't know if hopefully all this will fit in here. And we might need a bigger bowl. No, but we'll be fine. And then I like to use broccoli, and this is just like half of a head of broccoli, and I just cut it up into really small florets. And here's a red bell pepper. I did just have the tomatoes in here for red, but I really like all the different color bell peppers too.
Yeah.
And then I have 1 pint of the tomatoes I just sliced in half. And then I have a couple green onions that I sliced up. And at this point, you could just, you know, not add any cheese if you didn't want cheese, but later on I am gonna add some feta cheese. So I'll put this in here, and then over the break, I'll have to carefully get this mixed before we add our dressing.
Slightly
Look
over
at
the
it.
rim
I know.
right there.
I might have to use my hands.
But you know what? That's not a bad thing when it comes to food, and specifically pasta salad. I think I figured out what it is for the both of us. We really enjoy recipes that are easy to make, but also like can be stored in the fridge and eaten later.
Absolutely, it's so nice, and this one will just keep getting better.
Right.
And it'll be ready to eat, you know, as soon as we put our dressing on, but it'll get better in the fridge. And I'm using, like I said, just the regular rotini, but you could use any kind of whole wheat pasta. You could substitute orzo for this, which would be delicious. And then, of course, add whatever vegetables you want just to kind of clean out your fridge too.
Right. This will probably be on our Easter lunch
table. Yeah, but pretty for the Easter table.
Yeah, it's super pretty. So if people are already prepping for Easter lunch, dinner next weekend, or maybe this weekend, they want to have some kind of gathering of some sorts. You guys have a new ad that just dropped today.
Yes, we did. Wednesdays, of course, we always start our sale. We will be closed for Easter Day.
Good to know.
So that is good to know. So yeah, and of course, if you don't feel like shopping, then we can do the shopping for you. We have curbside and delivery options. So if you just download our free app, you just type in Greer's and it'll be there, and you can see all the stores that have all those options.
Awesome stuff. When we come back, we're working on the sauce. What's the base for you?
Okay, it's gonna be a red wine vinaigrette, and I'm also gonna drain off 2 cans of sliced black olives.
Okay, that's coming up with Lucy right here on Studio 10. Joe.
We are back in the kitchen with Lucy from Greer's, making a deliciously fresh and tasty pasta salad with some nutrients as well in the forms of vegetables.
It is, yes. Yeah. This is, and what you could even do, which there's a lot of vegetables in here, which is why I really like it. And you could also, I'm using 16 ounces of pasta today. You could even cut it to 8 and it'd be more of a 1-to-1, which would be delicious too. And you could use a whole wheat pasta, orzo, whatever you like. And yeah, like Chelsea said, my bowl, I had to split into 2 bowls here. My biggest bowl is at home with the batch I made last night. So okay. I didn't plan that out good.
I never break a pasta box in half. A lot of people will take like a 16-ounce pasta box and use only 8. No, like just if I'm making it, I'm making it.
Yeah, that's true. It is kind of hard to split it. Okay, so I'm adding, I had 2 little cans of sliced black olives, which I really like. If you don't like them, don't add them. And then I'm using 1 4-ounce container of crumbled feta. And if you don't like feta cheese, you could definitely use shredded parm. You could use, I mean, you could use whatever cheese you like, or you just don't even add cheese.
Which I don't suggest.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, you gotta add the cheese.
I know, really, and I had it, and sometimes I make it with Parmesan cheese, but I really do prefer it with the feta cheese. It adds that other salty bite in there. So that is all ready to go, and I'm gonna work on our vinaigrette now. So I started with 2/3 cup of red wine vinegar. And I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard.
You know what? I think the problem with this bowl is,
What?
like, it takes up a ton of space. It looks big, but really, it kind of.
Well, I started with this
It's like a
one.
wok. Yeah.
I know,
yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
true.
well, it's definitely not all gonna fit in there. Okay, yeah, you start working on that.
Okay.
So 1, let's see, tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I'm gonna add the juice of 1 lemon. And then I'm going to use salt, pepper, and dried oregano. And then I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of honey. And then I will drizzle in our olive oil. So that's our lemon juice, salt, that's 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 3 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 cup of honey. And then I'm gonna get this whisked together, and then I will drizzle in the olive oil. So
In terms of working in the
place.
grocery business here locally, I think you've got a couple things coming up specifically. Baldwin County spring break is this week. Mobile County spring break is after that. And then, of course, Easter Sunday is around the corner. So it's got to be a busy time for y'all.
It really is. It's a busy time for the grocery business for sure, especially as the weather starts to get pretty. And yeah, it's hard to believe. I told Chelsea we will be closed for Easter. So just so everybody knows, so make your
get
plans.
your stuff before
Get your
that.
stuff before that. And yeah, so if you are spring breaking, whether you're spring breaking in Baldwin County or Mobile County, we have plenty of stores that are close to all of any body of water you're going to be going to. And I mentioned that our beachside delivery for the Dauphin Island area is up and running. So if you are spring breaking in a condo or a house or anywhere down that area, we have delivery options down there. We've already been pulling a good bit of orders already for delivery down to the island. So check out our app, and you can have everything ready for when you get there. We can get it in the unit ahead of time, or of course deliver it when you're there. So save some time. I mean, some people like to be inside the grocery store, but most people would rather just place their order online. So we can do that for you.
I'm a mood guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I like to go and just look around, and sometimes I'm like, just bring it to me.
Exactly. So especially, you know, when you're going to be on vacation and your time is a little bit limited, and I don't know about y'all, but I do not like taking all the kids to the grocery store. They are so wild. So, so if you can do it ahead of time, I do like that option. So check that out. All right, so you can see our dressing came together really nicely, and we'll just split this, and I'll start stirring it in.
I'm going to tell a controversial story.
What?
So I love when people come and talk to us, say hi when you see us out and about. However, there was one time, it reminded me when I was at the grocery store and the kids were little, and like they were like crying and like throwing a temper tantrum and stuff, and people like, hey, you're the guy from TV. I'm like, not like, can you see what's going on here? So say hi to us and stuff, but if you see Lucy and her kids are younger, maybe cut her a break if they're going crazy, right? Does that make sense?
Or just like take them off my hands.
Yes, or just offer your babysitting services free of charge. All right, great stuff. Check out this recipe online. Keep Greer's in mind for spring break, for Easter, for all that stuff. We're going to finish this up in just a little bit.
Welcome back on a Wednesday. We are in the kitchen with Lucy, and we are making vegetable pasta salad, and it looks like it's done.
Yes, we did the vinaigrette last time, so we started out with red wine vinegar, and we added some Dijon mustard, some honey, salt, pepper, oregano, and then the juice of a lemon, and then we added in our olive oil, and it came together so beautifully. We just whisked as we drizzled that olive oil in, and it came together. Okay, do you like it?
It's so good. What I love about what Lucy does, and she, I learn a lot from her, is typically, what you can do that, just buy like an Italian dressing sort
Yes,
of
you
deal.
can do that.
But she reminds me how easy it is to make something from scratch.
It is. It really is so easy, and you know, I don't like to share things that are difficult because I know that most people,
Yeah.
you know, don't want to spend a ton of time in the kitchen, and most everybody doesn't really have time for it. So I like to use, you know, dried herbs and things that everybody really does have on hand. And I used red wine vinegar today, but you could use white wine vinegar if you have that. You can do balsamic vinegar if you have that. You know, that's a little bit versatile, and you could add, of course, whatever vegetables you want in here, whatever you like, whatever you want. We talked about, you know, you could cut the pasta back. Joe did not like that idea, and then you could, you know, keep it. I added feta cheese in here. If you didn't add any feta, then this would be, you know, of course, meat-free. It would be vegan without that cheese. So it's something that you could, you know, toss out, like you said, on the Easter table. You could eat for lunch. You could also, what would be good would be if you got a rotisserie chicken and just pulled chicken into this. And then, you know, you'd have your protein in there too. So definitely something, as we're getting into the pretty weather, something that you could put out there that is very colorful.
Cool, refreshing, colorful, all the things you need in a dish. And this is so good. So we're going to have the recipe posted on our website, fox10tv.com. Lucy will also have it on their website and her Facebook page as well. Lucy, we'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Really, really good, Jen.